Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. The wind is up, the rain is coming. I hope each and every one of you are tucked tight in your beds waiting for Christmas. Tonight I wanted to cover a story that was brought up to me by one of my viewers. He asked me if I had heard anything about this, and of course it was a benefit that the sons of the Beatles, that's right, the sons of Ringo, Paul, George, and John getting together to create a rooftop benefit concert. Now, I've been hearing rumors of this and also of an upcoming album that they're all going to get together and kind of produce some music and everything. This has been a rumor that's been going on in the background for the last couple of years. But now articles are starting to manifest, and one of my viewers saw such an article. Dig this. Here's what the article says. It says, Rooftop Legacy in 4 pairs of hands. James McCartney, Sean Ono Lennon, Dahni Harrison, and Zach Starkey reunite to honor their fathers by recreating the Beatles' rooftop concert spirit in a single, unforgettable tribute. Now, I've been telling you about the wind here locally. The article goes on to say the wind carried more than sound. It carried memory, inheritance, and a weight no spotlight could fake. This isn't about repeating them, one voice said quietly. It's about honoring where it all began. As the final chord faded into the city below, one question lingered in the open air. Was this a tribute or the beginning of a legacy still unfolding above the streets of London? Now, I found a longer article on this that even went on to say people on the streets at first were confused. Sound familiar? The famous rooftop concert. People didn't know it was coming. They'd be looking up all of a sudden because the Beatles were playing out of nowhere, and they mimic everything that happened in that concert as if this was a done deal, as if this was a tribute that had already been carried out. Now, of course, I've been hearing rumors about these 4 men getting together either to do an album or a special project or anything over the last couple of years. And if you ask me, I think that's more wishful thinking than anything else. I did a search on this. Dig this. This is an AI response. Keep that in mind. I asked him, did the 4 Beatles sons get together for a tribute concert? And here's the answer. No, the sons of the Beatles did not meet on the rooftop of Apple Corps. The original 4 Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, performed their final public concert on the rooftop of their Apple Corps headquarters at 3 Savile Row, London, January 30th, 1969. You know, if this whole thing had really happened, you would have thought they would have waited till January. Reports of the images circulating online about the sons gathering on the rooftop for a tribute concert are from an AI generated or fictional sources. There is no credible evidence from the reliable music news or media to confirm such an event ever took place. Well, if it happened downtown London, don't you think there'd be hundreds of thousands of witnesses to this thing? Now, I've talked about AI on a recent video. The video did real well. I thank all of you for watching it. And only one of the things that's destroying rock and roll that I mentioned was AI. Now, where I got my answer was an AI-generated response to an AI-generated story. In other words, AI ratted on itself. Not only that, and I didn't bring it up in my last video, but AI, the biggest problem I see with AI, it's now writing music. In other words, it's been trained to mimic voices, song styles, guitar solo styles, all of that stuff, and people are falling for it right and left. I covered a band called Sundown. It doesn't exist, folks. They even have photos of this band of people who do not exist. They're all AI created, and people are actually fans of this? Now, I've got to ask you folks, if you are a fan of AI music, what makes you such a fan? I mean, I can understand being a fan of an individual, or like the Beatles, a group of individuals who create something out of nothing and somehow bring it together in a fashion that all of us just love it. Ooh, Hey Jude, Let It Be, Across the Universe, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. But now we've got AI, robots who are writing music, creating images of a band, even giving that band a backstory, and everybody is falling for it. AI is not only creating non-existent bands, but it's now creating a non-existent band about real people. When does this nonsense stop? How many of you have heard about this story? How many of you would even be interested in these four not so young men anymore getting together in hopes that they would sound anywhere near as good as the Beatles? As for me, I don't care. I've listened to their music and color me unimpressed for the most part. All of them have put out a cut or two that were interesting to listen to, but other than that, none of them have inherited the genius of their fathers. You gotta hand it to James McCartney. He seems to be doing it on his own. Zach Starkey drummed with The Who for 29 years. There is his legacy. And as far as Sean Lennon and Dahni Harrison goes, all they've wound up being is the progenitors of the continuation of their father's story. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, Sean Lennon has done an abysmal job at repackaging his father's old catalog. Not impressed a bit. What about you folks? All right, that does it for the video for tonight. A real quick one just to let you know. I won't be streaming tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and there are going to be changes to my stream situation. I'm not going to be streaming twice a week. I'll be streaming once a week, so one of the streams will be going by the wayside. I need to be available to shoot more of these standalone videos. That's what this channel has always been about. That's what I want to provide for you. Let me know what you think, and also let me know what day would be best. I'm not going to be streaming on Sundays anymore. Sundays, I often come up on Royce's house, and it's too much of a job to do an entire stream on my end and then to show up on his show. So right now, for lack of a better day, look for me, I guess, on Wednesdays, but that may change as well. I won't be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Nobody would show up anyway. We'll see you after the holidays. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, and if you enjoyed this video tonight, please give it a thumbs up. That helps with views. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all my future videos and streams. But most important, folks, remember, we are the tribe.